How heavy is the silence in a house that was once filled with laughter. You look at the empty chair at the dinner table, or perhaps you stare at a phone that refuses to ring. You have poured your life essence into raising a child. You gave them your bone and your blood, your sleepless nights, and the best years of your youth. You did this not for praise, but out of a love so deep it consumed you. And yet, now that the birds have flown the nest, they do not look back. Instead of gratitude, you are met with indifference. Instead of warmth, you receive cold distance. You ask yourself the question that keeps you awake at 3 a.m. Where did I go wrong? Why don't they care? This pain is not just emotional. It is a physical weight that sits on your chest, restricting your breath, tightening your heart. But listen closely. The ancient masters taught that our children are not our possessions, nor are they our retirement plans. Sometimes, they are our greatest spiritual teachers, disguised as heartbreak. To understand this, and to heal this deep wound, let us walk together into the mist of the past, to hear a story written in ink and tears. In the valley of the silver mist, where the mountains rise like the humps of sleeping dragons, there lived an old stone carver named Elder Han. Han was a master of his craft, but his hands were gnarled like old ginger roots, and his back was permanently bent from years of labor. He had but one treasure in this world: his son, Wei. When Wei was born, Han's wife passed into the spirit realm, leaving the carver to be both mother and father. Han vowed that Wei would never touch a chisel, would never breathe the stone dust that coated Han's lungs. He wanted Wei to be a scholar, a man of silk robes and soft hands. For 20 years, Elder Han carved from dawn until the moon was high. He ate only simple rice gruels so that Wei could have meat and books. He wore rags so that Wei could wear fine linen. Every coin Han earned went into a small ceramic jar buried beneath the floorboards, destined for Wei's education in the capital city. The villagers whispered Han, "You are carving your own tombstone to build a throne for that boy." But Han would only smile, his eyes disappearing into the wrinkles of his face. "It is a father's duty," he would say. "His success will be my comfort in old age." The day finally came. Wei, handsome and educated, took the heavy bag of Coinsan's entire life savings, and bowed. "Father," he said, "I will go to the capital. I will become a high official. I will return with a carriage of gold to take you to a palace." Han wept with joy as he watched his son's silhouette disappear into the morning fog. Seasons turned into years. The winter snows fell and melted, and the cherry blossoms bloomed and withered. Elder Han grew too old to carve. His eyes failed him, and his hands shook. He sat by the village gate every day, waiting for the carriage of gold, waiting for his son. Travelers came from the capital. "Have you seen Wei?" Han would ask, his voice trembling. "He is a great official now." Finally, a merchant nodded. "I know Magistrate Wei. He is rich and powerful. He hosts banquets that last for days." Han's heart swelled. And did he speak of his father, the carver? The merchant looked down, uncomfortable. "I once heard him tell a guest that he was an orphan, that he raised himself from nothing." The words struck Han like a falling boulder. He did not die, though he wished he had. He retreated to his cold, dark hut. Rage and sorrow began to eat him alive. He cursed the heavens. He cursed his sacrifice. He lay on his straw mat, starving and alone, his heart turning into a stone harder than any he had ever carved. One evening, a wandering monk, known as Master Tao, gently pushed open the door. He found Han shivering, muttering curses into the darkness. The monk lit a small oil lamp, casting long, dancing shadows on the walls. He did not offer pity. Instead, he placed a warm bowl of broth in Han's hands and sat in silence. "My son is a thief," Han rasped. the bitterness choking him. I gave him my life, and he stole it. He discarded me like a broken tool. Master Tao looked at Han with eyes that seemed to hold the depth of a calm ocean. Han, the monk, said softly, imagine you are walking through a market. A stranger runs up to you, hands you a heavy bag of gold, and runs away. Years later, he returns and takes the bag back. Do you cry? Do you scream that you have been robbed? Of course not, Han replied, confused. It was never mine. I was just holding it. Precisely, Master Tao nodded. In your past life, the soul who is now your son was a merchant. You borrowed a great sum from him and never repaid it. You died with that debt on your soul. In this life, the laws of karma brought him back as your son to collect what was owed. The food, the clothes, the education, the sacrifice, that was you repaying your debt. Now, he has gone. The debt is paid. The ledger is balanced. You are free. Han sat frozen. The anger that had been boiling his blood began to cool. He realized he had been viewing his son as an investment, expecting a return. But the universe viewed it as a transaction of balance. But surely, Han whispered, tears streaming down his face, surely there should be love. Is love just a debt? Love given with a hook attached is not love, it is a loan, Master Tao said, his voice like the evening breeze. You loved him to satisfy your own need for a legacy. True love is like the sun. It shines on the flower, and if the flower blooms and turns away, the sun does not stop shining. It does not demand the flower turned back. You are suffering, Han, because you are waiting for a receipt for a gift you thought you gave. The monk blew out the lamp. In the darkness, for the first time in years, Han did not feel the crushing weight of betrayal. He felt a lightness. The bird had flown. The cage was empty, but the cage door was open, and he, too, was finally free to fly. My friends, let us bring this ancient wisdom into our modern hearts. The pain you feel from an ungrateful child is real, but it is often rooted in a transaction we didn't realize we were making. We think, I did X, so they must do Y when they don't. We feel robbed. But this resentment is a poison you drink, hoping the other person will die. From a holistic health perspective, this state of chronic grief and resentment is incredibly dangerous for you at this stage of life. When you replay the betrayal in your mind, your body releases cortisol and adrenaline, the stress hormones, your blood pressure rises, your digestion slows down, your immune system weakens. The heartbreak is not just poetic, it is physiological. You are literally wearing down your own heart, waiting for someone else to heal it. The lesson from the inkwash scroll is one of radical release. You must change the narrative in your head. Instead of I was used, try saying, I have completed my task. You were the vessel that brought them here. You were the guardian of their fragile years. That job is done. The karmic contract is fulfilled. If your children are distant, or cold, or ungrateful, realize that this is their journey, their karma, and their burden to carry, not yours. Their inability to show gratitude is a reflection of their own spiritual immaturity, not a reflection of your worth as a parent. You cannot water a flower that refuses to drink. So, here is your healing prescription for tonight. Visualize the invisible cord of expectation that connects you to your child. It is thick, heavy, and pulses with pain. Imagine taking the golden scissors of wisdom and gently cutting that cord. Not the cord of love remains, but the cord of expectation. Say to yourself, I release you from the duty of making me happy. I release myself from the sorrow of waiting for you. My love was a gift, freely given. I am whole, with or without your acknowledgement. Sleep tonight, knowing that you have paid your debts to life. You have given life. That is the highest honor. Now, it is time to live for yourself. to find a peace that resides in your own breathing, in the beating of your own resilient heart. Peace is not something your children give you. It is something you grant yourself.